Hello, it's Bobby here, and we are just about to go out and have a look at the hives and the bees. I've noticed that there are quite a few bumblebees around, but it's April 25th, and in Orkney we would normally be inspecting bees, but it's been a bit cold, so it's only 8 degrees today. So the mainly native bees here have started foraging, but it's just a bit cold to go into the hives. So we are having a good look at how they are bringing in pollen, and we think perhaps a little bit of nectar now that the flowering currant is in bloom. So we're about 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks behind where they would be in the rest of the UK, and then certainly in England. But we just have to wait our time. When we're up north here, we get less yields, but we're just delighted that the bees can survive, and it's a different way of beekeeping up here. So I hope you enjoy this. At this time of year, the bees are not too strong, so you can get quite close to the hives, and although I haven't been able to inspect them, I can see that they're quite purposeful as they come in and out of the hives. So I think that they have overwintered okay, but time will tell. I'm looking closely and I'm seeing there's one with orange pollen that's just come in there, and the gorse is in flower, and then we've got a big patch of that about 400 meters away from us. So I think that might well be gorse that's come in, pollen from there. So she's looking a little bit tired, but she'll just go into the hive in a moment. One feature which I haven't noticed until this year is that the bumblebees are having a look at trying to get into the hives, especially this last week. But of course, I've used the floors that were suggested in Black Mountain Honey, which is the under floor entrance, which is meant to protect from wasps, but it also seems to stop the big bumblebees from getting through the 8mm slot. Plus the fact that the hives seem to be strong enough to protect themselves. You can see that there are a few bees that are being investigated as they come in by their sisters. All worker bees that are going in and out at the moment. Now, at this time of year farther south, you'd be worried about swarming as they start to hot up, but ours, you can see that I haven't even got supers on yet. But we just give it time and they'll be okay. We have terrific summers here because it doesn't get too dry. So when most people speak about a June gap, we're usually okay. Or so I'm told. This is only my second year of beekeeping, but I absolutely love it. Now you'll see that our stand is well posted into the ground to be more secure through the winter. I also have wooden windbreaks, and we have a little patch of trees around here in the apiary, which really shelters it. The trees are just starting to come into leaf. So this becomes a bit of a sun trap eventually. I strap them down rather than use blocks. You have to be cautious with the weather here and give the bees every chance. So we had to do a split last year as part of our swarm control measures. So I have a newer queen in this green hive. So one of my first tasks is to try to identify and mark her. So I'll be marking her blue because that would be the colour for last year, for last August when she was born. And then up here in Orkney, because we're varroa free so far, one of the early jobs we do is we take hive scrapings for testing just to verify our varroa free status. So that's what we'll be doing when I do get a chance to inspect. And that's why we can't, or we choose not to, buy bees from outside Orkney so that we keep our disease-free status. So far, no American foul brood, no European foul brood, no varroa, no nosema, and we have the browler, wingless fly that lives alongside our bees, which have pretty much been eliminated in the parts of the country where they have varroa, because the treatments for varroa unfortunately kill the browler. So the browler is a fairly harmless fly, which is sometimes called, it's obviously six-legged, not eight-legged like the mites. And it just feeds off the extra pollen that's brought in by the bees. It doesn't harm the bees physically. And we quite enjoy having them here. They look different from the varroa. As the local Orkney beekeepers are not very many of them that have had experience of actually working with varroa. But we study it in great detail because it's not very far away from Orkney. It's in the next county along. So we're very wary of taking used, we don't take used beekeeping equipment into the county, and we don't take bees into the county. And they'd very much appreciate if everybody else supported the disease-free status of this area. It's a tough enough life for a bee without that mite. No tropicalaps either. That's so far out of this whole country. No small hive beetle, of course. I'm starting to see some whiter looking pollen coming in with a bit of a tinge of colour to it. So I'm wondering if that might be the flowering currant perhaps. It's too cold for anything to come in. The clover's not up yet. The dandelions have just come, so the yellow might be from dandelions. Not just the yellows. I think dandelion pollen is yellow, and I think the gorse pollen is orange. So that's us. It's very relaxing just watching them. I won't be able to have my chair here for very much longer because once they get stronger, they won't tolerate me being too close. But we'll enjoy it while we can.